The binary Maniac is entirely built, so let's talk about it and discuss the parts I chose and why I chose them and just kind of get into some more details over the build. Overall, this build is absolutely amazing. It's basically everything that I would want in a dream build, and I really didn't hold anything back for it. Many of you know that the area that I ride doesn't necessarily require a full suspension, and that's why I typically ride a hardtail. I'm in Southern Illinois area, and there are some chunky, interesting stuff, but nothing that's like 170 front, 150 rear and stuff like that. If I go to like some downhill parks and stuff, I'll take a full suspension, but 9.5 times out of 10, I'm on a hardtail. So I've had the NS Eccentric, one second. I had the NS Eccentric going on 4 years. I loved this bike. I really had no reason to change, upgrade, or switch this bike out. And I saw that the binary Maniac went available, and I was very interested in a titanium hardtail. So that's why this is a frame currently, and this is going to be my new hardtail. But if you're looking into an NS Eccentric, I cannot recommend this frame. I mean, it was terrific. It was such a fun frame. This one was a 2019. Absolutely held up terrific. So huge shout out to NS for that. Just an amazing, amazing quality frame. The thought process for this video was basically just kind of going over the parts and just kind of explaining why I did what I did. Originally, a lot of the parts were going to come off of the NS Eccentric, and instead I ended up putting way more new parts on it than I meant to. And honestly, we'll start with the stuff that's not new, and there's not many parts that are not new. But we'll start with the GX axis. So here's my GX axis drivetrain. I got the GX axis actually like right when it released. I'll post a link to the video up here so you can watch the original video. But I knew the new axis stuff has just released and announced, but for the price difference, you're talking over a grand difference in the GX axis. And a lot of GX axis right now is on sale. So brand new, it's around $600 for the actual shifter and for the actual derailleur. And I've been seeing them for around $470-ish, which if you're trying to get into wireless and you want to try wireless, 100% the way to go in my opinion. I just think it's very nice, very user-friendly as well, and it works terrific. I mean, it's really hard to complain about it. And I mean, I still love the fact that, and it fixes itself when it gets banged. I mean, that's so stinking cool. And the other original thing you just heard, it's actually the wheel set. So I kept the Hydra i9s, absolutely terrific wheel set. I love my i9s. I've had them going on 3 years, zero issues, zero hiccups. They have been spot on for all 3 years I've owned them. They were a little pricey when I got them originally. They're Hydra i9s, of course, they were expensive. They came with the stands, actual wheel set. The Flow MK3s is what I had put on these. And the rims, the hubs, the spokes, everything they've been true the entire time. They have ridden terrific. And I just love that instant engagement. It's so nice. And I know some people hate the B-hub sound or the B-high, B, buzz, buzz, buzz. I love it. I love that noise. I've seen a couple videos with Onyx hubs where they're the silent, and I would like to try them, but since I have Hydra i9s, absolutely zero reason for me to get another wheel set of that, I guess, quality or, you know, like boutique level in the sense of the price of it itself. Grabbed a new GX cassette just because new bike, new cassette kind of a thing. Went ahead and grabbed a black XX1 chain as well. Got a new GX crankset. So pretty much just did the whole GX build again. So I got the the dub bottom bracket, just SRAM dub bottom bracket, works absolutely fine. So one of my new most favorite product are these DMR vault pedals. I've been kind of like slowly switching to these only. They're a little expensive. You can find them on pretty good discounts every now and then if you just look around. But these Bryn Dogs in the flat black look terrific. I love them. I've ridden them on, I think I've ridden DMRs 3 or 4 different bikes now. The pins are terrific. The pedals themselves are just terrific. I just overall am so happy with that. That is the drivetrain in a nutshell. So let's go on to the tires real quick. I decided to finally try some Versys. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Versys tires from just friends that have ridden them and just different reviewers, so I decided to try them. I feel like they're a decent price. It was really hard for me not to put tan walls on this stinking bike because I love tan walls. So for the people that don't like tan walls, you're welcome. But I'm very excited to get these on the trails. They look very nice. They don't look super aggressive. They look just knobby enough, especially for like where I ride. So I'm very anxiously awaiting to get this on the dirt. So Tannis, I'll link a video to Tannis Armor's video of me installing the actual protection for the inserts of these tires. Tannis was so very kind. Vinny, he reached out to me and asked if I was interested in installing these and making a video. And I typically run a different brand, but I was very grateful that he reached out to me, and I absolutely wanted to try Tannis Armor. So I got the Tannis Armor installed on this. I got some fun videos planned for that once we get this up and going and actually get some more decent weather, because right now weather in Illinois is just miserable. But got my nice Tannis Armor sticker right there, just sporting that so people know I got Tannis Armor installed. So again, thank you, Vinny, for shooting me an email and hooking me up with those. So I'm very excited to get a try on the Tannis Armor. So you'll see a lot of my pink parts. It's actually called Prison Pink, and it's all made by Unite Co. I've purchased quite a few things from Unite Co, and I've always been so very impressed with their parts. But my chainring, my actual seat post clamp, and my stem, I'll get close-ups as well because my rotor bolts are also that Prison Pink from Unite Co. I kind of got the idea of going with pink from Hardtail Party because he's the one that helped design this bike, and of course he has the very nice helm on the front with that pink, and I just thought this looked really good with the pink accents. So I didn't want to go super crazy with pink on this one, and honestly, if you're happen to be watching this, Captain's Cog, you might get a kick out of this. But I kind of forgot that my dirt jumper already had pink on it, which sounds ridiculous, but I was like, oh, pink will be a cool color, and I already have a bike with pink on it. But he pointed out that I've been putting pink on quite a few bikes, and purple's actually my favorite color, which my hubs, my i9s are purple. But I don't know, so I thought pink would look really good with this titanium raw frame, and it really does pop. I didn't want to do too much pink, so I got, as mentioned, the Unite Co pink parts. I went with I got slick decals, so you can see I got the stands and the Flow MK3s on here, and I got the pink tubeless valves, and we'll get to the fork in just a second, but all those decals are actually from Slick Decals, and that's SLIK, and they have also always made just absolutely terrific products in the form of decals, and I've used them several times, and I just love the quality and I love the price. And if you've never purchased from them and you live in the States, I highly recommend paying the little bit extra fee for the shipping. I think it's like $10, but you'll get the tracking and DHL, and you get it in like 4 to 5 days. I mean, it's very impressive. I've done it once without tracking, and it took like 2.5, 3 weeks, which if you're okay with waiting that long, go for it. But I don't believe it came with tracking when you do the free shipping that it will give you. So if you want the tracking and just that extra little, confidence of your money and purchase, I recommend that little bit of an extra fee, especially because the quality and stuff, it's worth it in my opinion. So, Ergon saddle. I love Ergon saddles. This is my third one, I think, and I love them. I think they feel terrific on a long mountain bike. My booty absolutely appreciates it. So I got a couple P&W parts on this bike. So was able to put a 200, check this, 200 millimeter dropper post on this. Absolutely mental to me. The longest I've ridden so far was 150. So getting that 50 extra millimeters, and honestly, I could have gone a little bit with a little bit of a longer one, but since I've mentioned in another video, you can see the clamp up here, but since I actually ride with my daughter, I need about 15 millimeters, 20 millimeters of space here for my Mac Ride post clamp to actually clamp around that so she can sit in front of me on the Mac Ride. So honestly, I kind of put it in there, left about the space that I needed, and it fits perfect. P&W components, lifetime warranty, terrific price, terrific people as well up in the Pacific Northwest of the states. I actually got one of their new levers as well, so I was super excited to get the new lever. Just feels really nice, looks great. P&W handlebars, terrific price point for the handlebars themselves. Very nice handlebars. They have the cut lines, which is really nice if you're shortening them down, because I believe they start at 800 millimeters is the length they come in. I cut mine down to 770. I took 15 off of each side. So these are about the only grips that I ride anymore. It's the ODI grips that is like the Van collab. And it's kind of got like the waffle, like the bottom of like the shoes. But I got a bud, Kyle, who actually met up with me when I went to Ray's Indoor Mountain Bike Park, and he got himself a pair because I told him he should feel them, but they're just terrific feeling. They're nothing fancy. They're just, the grippy is awesome. And if you've never tried the ODI Vans, I highly, highly, highly recommend you give them a chance. Just buy them like $25, $30, so not crazy expensive, but just overall very nice handlebar grips. I love the way they feel. Let's talk about the fork. I've had a lot of people ask me questions over the fork. Is this bike over forked? Technically, no. The website says we can go up to 150 millimeters. If I did the math correct, this sits at 63-degree head angle, a head tube angle. My last bike was a 65. This falls in the category of hardcore hardtail because of the specs. I saw it could take a 150. I wanted to put a 150 on it. I got this fork brand new from Level 9 Sports for 40% off. And 38 millimeter stanchions, 150 millimeters of travel. This fork is a beast. It should provide a very, very, very stiff ride. I'm very excited. I might do the dampener upgrade and that kind of stuff, because right now it's got the oil, and we'll see. It'll make it a little bit lighter, but basically turn it into an ultimate, kind of like what I did with my Revelation for the NS Eccentric, which I really liked doing that. And it's not a super expensive upgrade. So, and honestly, for the price I got this and buying those parts and upgrading it, I'll still be under in comparison of buying an ultimate brand new. So it's kind of a win-win in my opinion if I do that. But that'll be down the road, because I want to ride it the way it is right now and just kind of get a feel for it. Love the fact I was able to put on one of these fancy little fenders that bolt on. Those things are so stinking sharp. I love personalizing fenders and, you know, doing that kind of fun stuff, but just being able to buy a legit, like, nice, like, hard, rigid fender that just bolts straight in is very nice, and it just looks very nice. So huge shout out to being able to do that via RockShox. So I really, really like that, guys. So for the headset, I kind of mixed two different ones, but it was the cheapest way to get the headset I needed, but I knew they both were very nice products. I mean, the bottom's a wolf tooth. It's just nice headset. It is what it is, and it's gonna make it work. So, you know, just a headset there, nothing super crazy. Ended up going with Shimano SLX brakes. They're just very nice for the price point. I personally just prefer Shimano's. No beef or anything with that with SRAM, but I have the oil for Shimano. I have the bleed kits for Shimano, so I just stick with Shimano because that's what I typically use. But tried and true for me. I really like the SLX because I've had them on three different bikes, I believe, and they always just, they work. They work for me. They slow me down like they're supposed to. I really like the way they feel when I brake. So, and I got the adjustability on the lever, which is nice too. So it makes it pretty nice and easy for one finger braking. If you have any questions, please let me know. Put them in the comments. I'm so very excited, as mentioned, to ride this bike. But thank you so very much for everyone tuning in. And until next time, everybody take care.